to host Ambassador David Friedman as our keynote speaker. In this capacity, Ambassador Friedman joins a long line of distinguished diplomats, public officials, and academics who have graced this stage over the past 25 years. We're especially grateful that he has agreed to make this his very first policy speech as Ambassador of the United States to Israel at our ceremony tonight. It's a distinct honor for us, and we thank him for that. And this is coming on the heels of a uniquely friendly and significant visit by President Trump to Israel, and in the midst of an intensive shuttle diplomacy by the President's closest advisors to find a way forward for negotiations between ourselves, Israel, and the Palestinians. Ambassador David Melech Friedman was nominated by President Trump on January 20th, 2017, sworn in as ambassador to the State of Israel on March 29th, 2017. He was the very first bilateral ambassador to be confirmed by the Trump administration. Prior to this, Ambassador Friedman was a leading attorney in the United States, playing a lead role negotiating multilateral disputes and complex business and financial restructurings. He's been active for decades in U.S. policy as it relates to Israel and in the Middle East, and has visited here extensively. Ambassador Friedman has earned a BA from Columbia University in New York in 1978, and a JD from New York University School of Law in 1981. He and his wife Tammy have been married for 36 years, and they have 5 kids, and frankly, the most important thing, 7 grandchildren. That I speak from experience. Ambassador Friedman.
A couple of things. First of all, in case you're wondering about my middle name, Melech, it's not that my parents had any grand plans for me. It's just my father's mother's name was Malka, and I was the last one who was able to get her name. Is my picture still up? I was about 3.5 hours ago. I was in Ramat HaGolan on the Syrian border watching artillery fire between various Syrian rebel groups, and I got back here very fast. This is a very small country. If you can you go through half the country in about an hour and 20 minutes by helicopter. But I ran back, I jumped in the shower, and I was about to put on a tie, and it was that tie. And I said to myself, I don't know what picture they have of me, but you know what? If I wear the same tie, people are going to think I only own one tie. So fortunately, I changed ties before we started. Dr. Katz, thank you so much. And in case you didn't realize, Dr. Katz and I are related. We are both descendants of Aharon Kohen, and I don't know exactly where our families intercede, but we are both Kohanim. And thank you for all the great leadership that you provide to B'nai B'rith and to Alan Schneider as well for all of your hard work and direction for B'nai B'rith Israel for so many years. I want to congratulate the Chatanei HaPras, the awardees. First of all, Yaniv Poharilis. YNET is very important in my life. I've been relying upon it for at least 20 years to probably maybe not that 15 years or so, just to stay abreast of Israel. The website's great. It's a terrific product. I will confess to you, I also read Arutz Sheva. I hope it's okay. And I also read Yisrael Hayom, but I also read Haaretz. So I try to get a balanced view of what's going on here. This is a very complicated country for such a small country. David Broza, what did I say to you when we met? I hope you play Mitachat HaShamayim. That was the first thing I said to him. It is such a good song, such a good song. And I actually didn't pay attention too much to the guests of honor until last night when I started thinking about today. And I said, wow, David Broza is the guest of honor. That was such a thrill for me to hear that. And Yasha Koach, your music is outstanding. In the embassy, we have 950 employees, and some of them are speechwriters. We have excellent speechwriters in the embassy, and I was going to stay away tonight from. I understand this is supposed to be a policy speech, but we're not going to get. I wasn't planning to get too much into policy. You know, we're just beginning the Trump administration. We're working very hard on a peace process. There's an expression in English. You probably have something similar in Hebrew. Those who talk don't know, and those who know don't talk. And so here I actually know, so I'm not going to talk. It's something which I don't see any real purpose in jumping the gun on some sensitive discussions. And I wasn't even going to speak too much about the Trump administration, although you all know, as I do, that we have a very pro-Israel administration. We have a president who made his trip to Israel, made a trip to Israel a very high priority. It was his first trip internationally. He's the first sitting president in the history of the United States to go to the Kotel Hamaravi. And we have a very, very strong team of people that are very much supportive, I think, frankly, in unprecedented ways, of the state of Israel. But let's play that out. It's too soon to be congratulating ourselves. We have a long way to go. But I can assure you that you have people in the American administration whose hearts are very much in the right place. What I was going to speak about tonight was I have a great speech prepared about the breadth and the depth of the relationship between the United States and the state of Israel. It was a great speech. I'm not going to give it tonight, but it would have been a great speech. The relationship is extraordinary. We tend to think of it, I certainly thought of it before I became the ambassador, as a political relationship, to some extent, a relationship of military and intelligence cooperation, but it's some more, and there's so much to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it tonight. What I want to talk about is something, I want to speak to you, if I can, to some extent, not as the United States ambassador to Israel, although it is my absolutely highest honor and privilege to serve in that capacity. I want to speak to you also as a member of the Jewish faith and as the son of a rabbi who practiced before his pulpit for some at least 45 years, and who committed his life to one thing and one thing only. He committed his life to Jewish unity. 3 years ago, you will recall the tragedy that befell Gilad Shar and Naftali Frankel and Ayal Yifrach, the three boys who were kidnapped at a tzomit in Gush Etzion, and who, for 18 days, the entire world, not just the Jewish community, not just the state of Israel, but the entire world prayed and hoped and wished for their safe return. And unfortunately, it was not to be. And on the anniversary of their untimely passing, their parents, who suffered so much and struggled so hard to find meaning through this tragedy, they began something called the Unity Prize. I think it's called the Pras Achdut Yisrael, but it's the Unity Prize given to people who commit themselves to unifying the Jewish people. I attended that first ceremony 3 years ago. I missed the one a year ago, and then I was able to attend just recently at the Beit HaNasi. I had a better seat this time than I had the first time, but I attended it as well. This is something that we have. You know, it was a beautiful ceremony, and there are people that commit their lives to Jewish unity, but sadly, we're not where we need to be. Yesterday, I heard something, and this is why I'm changing my speech. Yesterday, I heard something that I thought I would never hear before. And I understand the source of the frustration and the source of the anger. I understand it. But I heard a major Jewish organization say that they needed to rethink their support for the state of Israel. This is something unthinkable in my lifetime up until yesterday. We have to do better. We must do better. There is plenty of room to cast blame, whether it's on the issue of the Kotel, the issue of conversion. There's so many other issues that separate us. I'm not going to take sides tonight. If you're if you wonder what I'm thinking, you'll be somewhat disappointed. But I can tell you we can only resolve these issues by mutual respect and understanding. The type of respect and understanding that, frankly, people like Yaniv are fostering through their journalism, and people like David foster by bringing people together through music. We have to get back to those basic principles of Jewish unity. And the key to Jewish unity, from my perspective, is that nobody ever has to win. This is not a question of winning. This is a question of mutual understanding and respect and coexistence. And as soon as someone wants to win, everybody's going to lose. We're all familiar with the, and I apologize if you've heard this Dvar Torah before, but we're all familiar with the song Dayenu on Pesach. And Dayenu begins, if we were taken out of Egypt, but we didn't have any series of additional miracles, it would be enough. We get to a point in the song of Dayenu, Ilu Kervanu Lifnei Har Sinai, V'lo Natan Lanu Et HaTorah Dayenu. If we were brought to the foot of Mount Sinai, but we weren't given the Torah, it would be enough. This is certainly a hard concept to think about. How could we be brought, if we were just brought to the foot of Mount Sinai and left there? This is not a particularly hospitable place. There's no beach there. There's no pool. There's no buffet. I mean, this is not a place for Jewish people. So if we were just brought to the foot of Mount Sinai and not given the Torah, how could we say Dayenu? So there's a beautiful answer given by referring to a commentary by Rashi on the pasuk that precedes the Matan Torah, where it says Vayichan Sham Yisrael Neged Hahar. Vayichan, not Vayachanu. Vayichan Sham Yisrael Neged Hahar. That the entire people of Israel, B'lashon Yachid, and singularly, stood Neged Hahar. What does Rashi say, Vayichan Yisrael? He asks the question, why the singular rather than the plural? And he uses the phrase, they stood there, ki ish echad b'lev echad. They stood there as one single person. That was the Dayenu of Ilu Kervanu Lifnei Har Sinai. By bringing the Jewish people to Har Sinai, God brought us together, ki ish echad b'lev echad. We must try so hard to get back to that point. You people of B'nai B'rith are perfectly situated to help lead this effort, because in 1843, when B'nai B'rith was founded, there was no Israel and there was no diaspora. There were no Datiyim, there were no Chilonim, there were no Orthodox conservative reform. In 1843, there were just a bunch of Jewish people who were desperate for advocacy, for help, for sustenance, for guidance. It's not a time we want to return to. We certainly don't want to go back to 1843, but that spirit of B'nai B'rith, when it was formed, without judgment, without conflict, without checking people's hechsherim, just said, okay, we're all in this together, we're going to help and advance the interests of the Jewish people. That spirit is the spirit that is so desperately needed today. We all remember why the Bayit Sheni was destroyed. It was destroyed because of Sinat Chinam, because of internal hatred. We have to move forward to Ahavat Chinam. That's where the Jewish people, that's where our future lies. I was, as I said, I was up in Ramat HaGolan earlier today. I was with Tom Bossert, who is the President's advisor on Homeland Security and Counterterrorism. And I wrote some of these notes on the helicopter back, which is why I'm struggling a little bit to try to read my handwriting. But, and just parenthetically, Mr. Bossert announced yesterday the creation of a working group, an Israeli-United States working group to combat, with regard to combat cyber terrorism and to work on cybersecurity. It's going to, I think, help to keep both countries safer. But while I was looking at Ramat HaGolan, looking into Syria, it occurred to me, we have plenty of enemies. There's no shortage of enemies if we want to find them. Looking over the border there, there was ISIS, there was the Syrian regime, there were the rebels. There's 20, 30 different rebel groups. They hate each other, but if you want to ask them one thing they agree upon, they all hate us, and there's no shortage. And you look at the Lebanese border in 2006. We had a horrible war. We lost, 2 soldiers were kidnapped and murdered. Hezbollah shot 10,000 rockets into Israel in 2006. UN Resolution 1701 was enacted to disarm Hezbollah. UNIFIL was appointed to disarm Hezbollah. Today, Hezbollah has 100,000 rockets. So we can unite among our enemies. We can unite by common enemies. We have plenty of enemies. There's certainly no shortage about that. But I would suggest to you that it's not enough. It's not enough to unite behind common enemies. We should unite behind what's so wonderful about our common existence. We should unite behind the miracle of the state of Israel. We're living through this incredible miracle of the birth and growth of this nation. I remember coming here the first time for my bar mitzvah in 1971, where we wanted to call home, and we had to go to the post office and feed asimonim into the post office. My brother was living here, and he had to wait. He was there for the year. In September, he applied for a landline for a telephone. The phone arrived 3 months after he left Israel. So this is such what's happening here in Israel is so spectacular, and it should give us so much to unite instead of fighting with each other. We can unite it behind the richness of the Jewish tradition, whether we're religious or not, whatever type of religion we might be. We can unite behind the shared values between the United States and the state of Israel. We can rejoice in those of us who are American or love America. We can rejoice in this incredible country that I'm privileged enough to represent, the United States of America, absolutely the greatest experiment in the history of the world in self-governance, a living, breathing constitution that today is as vibrant and applicable to our daily lives as it was when it was first written 200 years ago. We'll defeat our enemies. I have no doubt that we will defeat our enemies. The question is, can we survive ourselves? And I will tell you candidly, those of you who have followed my ascension to this position, I'm as guilty as anyone else of having entered the partisan divide that has, unfortunately, to some extent, fractured the Jewish community, both in the United States and Israel. But it has to end. I will pledge to you, on my part, that I will commit to treat the Jewish people of whatever stripe, whatever political views, with the same dignity and respect as they all deserve. And I hope we'll all do the same. We have to turn the page. And I couldn't think of two more important honorees, two better honorees for this point than Yaniv and David. For Yaniv to write about the relationship between the diaspora and the United States, this is so important. They say men are from Venus, or what's the way? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, or vice. I don't know. I forgot which one. But some people, you could also say, Israelis are from Mars and Americans are from Venus. We're very different people, culturally, very different people, totally different circumstances. In America, there really are no existential threats. It's a big country. You want to get out. Nobody has to, get in anybody else's face. It's such a big place, and there's so many places to go. Here it's, wherever I travel all around the world, and I always find Israelis wherever I go because they're so cramped into Israel. They have to get out. They always have to get out, and it's so important to educate the United States about Israel, and Israel about the United States. Not just politically. Politically, we all know the politics, but to really understand the way of life, the culture, the way of thinking. So you do a tremendous service, and I wish you great success in continuing that. David, I only wish everybody here one thing. The way we all felt when we heard Mitachat Lashamayim, the way we all felt is the way we should continue to feel even when we're not hearing the music. Because I'm a musician too. There's nothing like music to bring people together. I watched a YouTube video once. You were singing that song. You look around the crowd. there wasn't one person who wasn't in love with everybody else. I mean, it just brings such good feelings, and it's so important. And, you know, we have to sometimes just forget about our differences and listen to some good music. So I want to apologize to you because I am way off script, and all the people who wrote my speech are probably sitting there in horror. You know, what's he going to say? And what kind of damage control are we going to have to do tomorrow in the media? So, but I hope whoever is here, I hope I haven't embarrassed myself, and I want to really thank you very much. I'm sorry for going off script, but this to me was very important in light of the events of the last day. It just was very important. Thank you so much, and Yasher Koach very much to the honorees. Thank you.